Hey everybody, welcome back to Royal Tarot Readings. This is my fun channel that I do for tarot readings on the royal family. All information presented in this video is for fun and entertainment purposes only. It's fun, it's tarot. I'm just a gal with cards. Alright, so today we're going to go for a little dark reading. This one is going to be on Erik and Lyle Menendez. I'm going to give you some background on the history. I'm old, guys, I'm 63. I watched this trial, and the first one was 93, 94. I just graduated from college, was in Virginia, just, always been interested. My background is with the military, it's with government entities. I've always been really fascinated by crime and crime dramas. And investigation. This Court TV had just come into being. It was amazing. And they put this, it was the first time that they were televising trials. And the attorney who was, I believe it was Erik's attorney, Leslie Abramson, she was absolutely furious that the trial was being televised and referred during the trial to that infernal contraption, as she called it, while she was pointing to the video or the camera, which was mounted up in this towards the top of the ceiling. So it was interesting. So I watched this trial as it was televised and watched all the testimony by Erik and Lyle. By the first trial actually ended in a hung jury. And hang on just a second. Sorry for the interruption. My dear husband, I love him to death. He always just comes in right as I start a reading. But anyway, love you, honey. Anyway, okay, so back to this trial. First trial ended in a hung jury because they did allow the evidence that Lyle and Erik said that their father had abused them. That trial ended in a hung jury, and in the second trial, due to a Supreme Court decision that had just been rendered on a different case, the California district attorney decided to not allow the evidence for the sexual abuse of the father on the children. And because of that, that jury did not hear about it. And that trial ended in a conviction for first-degree murder for both of the boys. All right, so Lyle is a Capricorn. He was born January 10th, 1968. Erik is a Sagittarius, November 27th, 1970. Lyle was 21 and Erik was 19 when this occurred. So a little background on Jose Menendez, their father. He was born in Havana, Cuba, moved to the U.S. when he was 16 in 1960 when Castro began to take over. I am from Miami, and my parents remember that very well. When Castro took over, there was a big influx of Cubans into Miami, and my dad became very good friends with a Cuban man. My dad was an optometrist, and the man he became good friends with was also an optometrist, and they started a little practice together, eventually having to move to Fort Myers. But anyway, I remember my parents talking about that time when Castro took over. So he married Kitty Menendez, who... Okay, so Jose was a Taurus and Kitty was a Libra, and they got married in 1963. 3 years after he had moved to the U.S., I believe they met in college. I can give you a little background on the parents as well, but I might go through that as if the reading bears it out. But actually, I will tell you a little bit about Kitty Menendez. She came from a very abusive father, and her mother was a battered woman, and I think she married her father, in that, women always tend to marry their fathers, or people like their fathers. At least that's the theory anyway. Jose Menendez he had lots of extramarital affairs during their marriage. She was very dependent on alcohol and pills. And she actually attempted to unalive herself in 1987. Now, this crime occurred in August 1989. When the two boys went out and bought two 12-gauge shotguns, Mossberg shotguns. They actually tried to buy handguns, but couldn't do it because of the waiting period. They also bought birdshot and buckshot, which, if you're familiar with those types of ammunition, it's very interesting. They bought birdshot, which really wouldn't do a lot. Buckshot is the one that would probably do the job, as they say. Kitty was very abusive to Lyle. He began losing his hair at a very early age, and he had to wear a toupee, and at one point she ripped off his toupee and laughed at him in front of people, and he was just, mortified and humiliated by that. Little background on the actual occurrence. Kitty was shot 10 times, the last being the fatal shot to the face, where one of the boys actually went back out and reloaded and came back in and did that final shot to her. Jose was shot 6 times. Fatal shot was the back of the head. So it was a very brutal murder. And even the police commented that they actually thought it was a hit job by the severity and the brutality of the crime. So in investigations, usually brutality in a crime is for one of a couple reasons. One is to promote fear among the people who are left. The other is this uncontrolled rage, which is what seemed to be what happened with this crime scene, is what you see when people are getting back at someone, just uncontrolled rage in the actual act. So anyway, probably a little bit too much info for you. Anyway, I thought I would do a reading. I'm going to do an onc spread on what actually was the history behind this crime, and then I might actually after we're done with that, do a little bit of energy comparison between the two boys and between the parents. See what we can come up with. But this onc spread is going to be on what happened, what was the trigger, what were the 2 triggers for this crime, what was the past event that put it into motion, what was the current event that put it into motion, what was the true meaning of the crime, and then what's the next step, which we know is, they've got some possibilities of having this looked at again by the district attorney in California. And then what's the next step? What's the inevitable conclusion? What's the surprise along the way? And what is going to be the outcome for this eventual attempt to try to get them released, I believe, or get the charges reduced, because right now it's first degree murder. All right, so none of the decks wanted to read on this. I finally talked the Monsters Tarot deck into reading on this, so we'll see how it goes. All right, so we have the Universal Monsters Tarot deck for this one. Sorry for the long introduction, but if you're not familiar with this case, I just wanted to give you a little background on it. It really resonates with me because I remember watching this trial as it occurred. All right, so let's find out. For this crime that occurred, what were the triggers that caused this to happen? What were the triggers? Or there are always 2. What were the 2 triggers? What was the past event that put this all into motion? What was the most current event that put it into motion? What was the true meaning? The true meaning of the crime. Oh my God, the Emperor in reverse. There's the father. They hated the father. Oh my God, I got goosebumps. All right, so what was the true meaning of the crime? What is the next step? What is the inevitable conclusion? It's going to be coming up. What's the surprise along the way? And what's the outcome going to be? So, see what we can find out about the actual crime and then what's coming after it. Wow, the father, the Emperor card is the only one that I've gotten to jump out. Holy crap. Wow. I'm telling you, none of my decks wanted to read on this. They were like, not reading on this one. The Ace of Crips, which is the Ace of Cups, passion. Crime of passion. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I guess. Ooh, did you see that? That was okay. And the 9 of Claws. Oh gosh, the 9 of Swords. A complete and total nightmare. They were living a nightmare. Oh my gosh. Oh, and another one wants to jump over. The Chariot. Movement was stopped. Movement was stopped. All right, and then we have the 8 of Candles in reverse for obstacles. Oh wow, this may be talking about what's going to be happening on the outcome. All right, let's see what we get here. Oop, okay, I think this is ready. And then we have the Nine of Crips, which is the Nine of Cups in reverse. And this is the overindulgence. This could be the alcohol and pills that the mother was addicted to. All right, we're just going to go with this. And this is the Five of Crips, which is the Five of Cups, regret and disappointment. Wow. We're getting so much just from the cards that are jumping out. My goodness. All right, we're going to go with this one. All right, here we go. Onk spread. All right. First triggering factor, second triggering factor. Oops. Past event that put it into motion. Current event that put it into motion. True meaning. Oh, yep, I knew there were two cards there. All right, and I'll try to move it up a little bit. It's supposed to look like an onk. I just don't have enough room for it all. All right, the next step, the inevitable conclusion, surprise along the way, and the outcome. Underlying energy. Ace of Crips. Ace of Cups, there's your crime of passion. Oh my. Six of Candles, which is the Six of Wands. Oh, a victory. And the Two of Claws. Okay. Two of Swords. Tough decision nobody wanted to make. Wow. All right, so we have the, actually this, you know what? No, it's Ace of Cups. Yeah, Ace of Cups is passion. It's love. It's a lot of emotion. Just a lot of emotion. Can also be pregnancy too, but I don't think that's the case here. So we have a lot of passion. We have the Six of Wands, passion for a victory. And the Two of Claws, I don't want to make this decision. Two of Swords, tough decision we have to make. We don't want to do this. Wow. Okay. What was the triggering factor that put this whole crime into motion? The Page of Candles, which is the Page of Wands in reverse. Bad news. Bad news. This could also be... This is Erik. Something bad happened to Erik. Fire sign. This is Erik. He was very passionate about doing this. He wanted a victory. They wanted to overcome the situation that they were in. And they knew they had to make this decision on what they were going to do, but they didn't want to make it. What was the second triggering factor? The King of Crips in reverse. This is the King of Cups in reverse. All right, so Jose was a Taurus, so this is not him. Look, we don't have any water signs here. All right, so the King of Cups in reverse. This is about also a very unemotional person. The King of Cups upright is a very loving, emotional person that you can count on for support. And in reverse, a very unemotional, very cold person. So someone in their life was very cold. There was some type of cold reaction that they got from someone. I don't think this is their father. I don't think this is the father. This is some type of cold reaction they got from someone maybe they talked to. So the first triggering factor was something bad happened to Erik. And the second one was they got this cold reaction from someone. This is also reacting to something that someone has done to you. Look at this, though. No emotional connection, but the love was still there. This was a crime of passion. Didn't want to have to do it. All right, let's see what else comes up here. What was the past event that put this into motion? The Four of Claws in reverse. Oh my God, the Four of Swords in reverse. Someone was either very ill or had gone through an incredibly traumatic event. A traumatic event that put them almost on their deathbed. Something that was so painful that they wanted to go to sleep and never wake up. It's just a crime of love. But not the love that I'm trying not to say what I'm thinking. But the first, and this could be this could be the abuse. That one of them suffered such abuse, they did not want to go on. This could also be now, Katie Menendez did try to unalive herself. I wonder if this was the thing that put it into motion for them. She took sleeping pills and attempted to unalive herself. This was the first triggering factor for them. This is what put it into motion. That happened 2 years before the murders. Wow. Her unaliving attempt is what set this into motion. What was the most current event that put this crime into motion? The world, they wanted it to end. They wanted things to end. The world is endings. There's the airplane. The world is endings. It's a successful completion. They wanted a successful completion to everything that was going on. Crime of passion. Wanting a victory. I think a victory over the father in particular is what I'm just getting. And that I don't want to have to do this, but I don't know what else to do. And it's over this cold energy. So I want to end it. I have no more feeling. I just want this all to end. And Erik was the one who had the connection to the mother. He absolutely had the connection to the mother. This was very traumatic for him when she tried to unalive herself. Don't you love us? Don't you love me? Why don't you love me? Why would you do that? Wow. Oh my goodness. All right. What was the true meaning of their crime? What were they really, really trying to do? The Seven of Candles in reverse. Well, this is the Seven of Wands in reverse. What they did was indefensible. They knew that what they were going to do was completely horrific, and they would have no defense for it. Really? The true meaning is what they did was indefensible. It was a crime of passion. I think they just wanted to get away. They didn't want to be there anymore. And they didn't know how else to do it. Really? My goodness. Okay. Ooh. What's the next step? What's the next step on this whole saga? Oh my goodness. The Four of Crips, which is the Four of Cups. Everyone's indifferent. Nobody wants to do anything. Nobody is interested in doing anything. What's the next step? Nothing. The doors are locked. No. You committed a crime of passion. You wanted to get away. You wanted a victory. You didn't know what to do, but you did it anyway. Too bad. Wow. What's going to happen? Nothing. What's the next step? Nothing. No matter how much they're going to appeal to the DA, no matter how much this is looked at, nobody wants to do anything. And it doesn't have to do with evidence. There's something else under here. It's like, no, I'm not even interested. No. It's like they don't want anyone to look at anything else. Wow. Ooh, that gave me goosebumps. All right, what is the inevitable conclusion on this? The Hermit in reverse. Okay, so the Hermit upright is about you are having a good think about yourself and you want to get away and be alone and just do a lot of introspection and think about things that have gone on. And in reverse, you've now thought about it quite a bit, and now you've kind of had an epiphany about yourself, and you're ready to come out from your You're ready to come out from your isolation. This is one of them. Who's the earth sign? Lyle. He's the Capricorn. Is he the one who's going to make... So the inevitable conclusion is that they're going to try to look at Lyle's part of it, but not Erik's. Okay, so the inevitable conclusion is that Lyle is the one who has the epiphany about himself. This was his idea, so maybe he's finally realizing that what he has done was indefensible and that he should not be the one who gets out. Maybe he's going to throw it over to the other brother and say, this was my idea, he really didn't have... I talked him into it, you should let him out. Oh, wow, I wonder if that's what's going to happen. He's going to fall on his sword. Lyle's the older brother. He's the one who's going to fall on his sword and say, let Erik have his sentence reduced, but not me. Wow. Okay, what's the surprise along the way? What's going to be the surprise? This is my favorite card. The Emperor in reverse. The information's going to come out about the dad. There's something that we don't know about the dad's background. Now, he was having a lot of extramarital affairs, and that's why the mother had tried to unalive herself. I believe he was in the entertainment business. He was an entertainment executive. Hang on, let me check this out. Yeah, he was entertainment executive, and there's something really dark about him we don't know about the dad. And the surprise along the way is that's going to be revealed. Something about the dad's going to be revealed. And it's going to be something about, probably about other affairs that he had and other conquests that he had, and other decisions that he made that nobody knows about. There were some decisions out there he made. Nobody knows about them. Something about the dad's going to come out that we don't know. Okay. Final card is, what is the outcome going to be? What's going to be the outcome on all this? The Eight of Claws, which is the Eight of Swords, trap. They're going to stay in prison. They're not going to get out. This is pretty much the prison card. The Eight of Claws, which is the Eight of Swords. Yep, you're stuck there. You're trapped. And there's no way out for you. Wow. Because you had this crime of passion because you were trying to just have a victory over your parents, and even though you didn't want to do it, you did it. Wow. Okay. Oh my goodness. There's a lot in here. All right, let's do a quick wrap up. All right, so for the first triggering factor, something bad happened to Erik. That's what the first triggering factor was. Something bad happened to Erik, and I believe Lyle was the one who came up with the idea to try to help him. And then the second triggering factor was they were completely emotionally disconnected from their parents. They had no feeling for either one of them for various reasons. And then what was the past event that put this all into motion? When the mother tried to unalive herself. 2 years before, that's when they first really thought about this. Oh, she wants to die? Okay, no problem. And then what was the most current event that put it into place was they wanted everything to end. They wanted their current existence to end. They were tired of not feeling anything for people. No emotion. Just this terrible void of emotion. And then the true meaning of the crime, what they did was indefensible. They were there to take their lives. And that's what they did. And they knew it was wrong, but they did it anyway. And then, gosh, this reading's so dark. Oh gosh. Okay, so what's the next step? Nothing. No one's going to do anything. No one's interested in even looking at this. Nobody wants to do anything about this. And then what's the inevitable conclusion? Lyle is going to realize that he's had an epiphany about himself that, yeah, we did this. I at least don't deserve to get out. I'm just going to do my time, do my sentence. That's what should happen to me. I think he feels more he wants his brother to be let out and have his sentence reduced, or the charge changed. I think they want to change it to manslaughter, and he's probably gonna push for that. And then what's the surprise along the way? Something about the father is going to come out that we don't know about, something really dark. And then what's the outcome going to be? They're going to stay in prison. 8 of Swords, trapped. Wow. All right, allegedly. Whew, I hope you found that interesting. I am going to do another reading. It'll be separate, where I'm going to look at the energy between the 2 boys and between the parents. I think this was so dark, it's actually tapping my energy. So I think I'm going to end it here. All right. Thank you for watching. I hope you found that interesting. If you did, please like and share. And if you're a subscriber, well, thank you so much. I appreciate all my subscribers. I hope you guys are enjoying these readings. And if you're not a subscriber, well, you need to subscribe. Come on, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss another reading. Thanks so much, everyone. We'll see you again soon on Royal Tarot Readings. Bye-bye, everybody.